Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. And a special thank you if you sent a box from Switzerland. A special thanks to you. That was a surprise. I almost wasn't even going to go over to my mailbox, but I saw something on the list of things, and I'm just like, oh, I know where that's from. So I raced over there. Yep, I was gonna stay home, but I said, ain't nobody got time for that, and I ran up out of here. You should have saw me. Uh, so, oh, I got to get my slides up, don't I? Okay. Um. Oh, there we go. Come on, slides. All right. Slides are coming. Might as well bring up the ones from yesterday because I may need to reference that, but not yet. And maybe the day before, but not yet. Okay. All right. So, hello to Bunny Rose, Connie Balmer. Let's see. Gwendolyn Daniels, Felton LaShawn, Regina Wallace, Teddy Bongo, Janice Goodrich, Fancy Fancy, which, by the way, who was here first? It was Fancy Fancy. Got a new member. Research Bunnies. Oh my God. Research Bunnies. Is that the name? You're going to stay with that one? That is hilarious. Research Bunnies. All right. Well, thank you very much, Research Bunnies. And, well, I hope you find the cure for the common cold. Okay. Let's get on with it. Hey, Bunny Rose. Research Bunnies. I've heard it all now. Anyway, thank you for the new membership. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. All right. The first contact. The first contact. You guys, listen. It is what it is. The timing, as I said yesterday, the timing of this is damn peculiar. It is very peculiar. The timing of Thomas Markle's misfortune. Also, when they had the earthquake, we know that woman who works for the Daily Mail was there, right? We know she was there. So, what are the chances that she just happens to be there when this happens? So, yeah, they got some explaining to do. I wish that there was some investigation into that person's place, a person like, Carolyn, what is her name? Carolyn Graham, who finds herself at the center of a story that she really shouldn't be a part of. Oh, as a matter of fact, let me show you. I just found this. I was trying to, well, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I'll go ahead and grab it now, and then I'll save that for a little bit later. But I was thinking about that, and what is the date? That's October 4th. That was quite recent, wasn't it? October 4th. All right. So yeah, let me go ahead and grab it. But I don't want to share it just yet. Oh, well, then it didn't come up, did it? Okay, there we go. Oh, it did. It did. But I don't need it right now, so let me take that away. All right. Let's see. Beatrice Dillon, thank you. Hoodoo Daughter. What is up with these names tonight? Hoodoo Daughter. And what was the other one? Research Bunnies. Where is Crotchin Chicken Hidden Egg? That's another one of my favorites. Crotching Chicken Hidden Eggs. Oh man, you guys are killing me with these names tonight. I love it. Keep them coming. The stranger and the more unusual, the better. Okay, excuse me. This beautiful card came all the way from Switzerland. Isn't that beautiful? This really puts me in the Christmas spirit. Isn't that beautiful? And you know, when I get a beautiful card, a lot of times I will actually take a picture of it and then add it to my collection of images. So, yeah, that is beautiful, isn't it? That is gorgeous. It came from Switzerland. Yeah, a friend of mine gave it to me from Switzerland, along with a box of goodies. Thank you, Connie Bomber. I am so spoiled. I love it. I raced over there. I'm like, oh, I got something from Switzerland. Okay. And then also, I received this card from Jerry White. Jerry White, who usually does not come to the comments, but she has been a longtime supporter of Royal Sussex. And she does have a membership. I think she's at what? Was it 42 months? 40 months? 42 months? She sent me this beautiful card. But yeah, again, I love the art. I guess I'm kind of a square, but I really do love the artwork on cards. I used to just like buy cards sometime because I would like the artwork, and yeah, that's another great one. Kind of a watercolor, I think. I love it. Anyway, thank you, Jerry White. So take a look there. According to SK, there are levels. 8.1 million. Now, this was about 24 hours ago. 8.1 million views in the last 48 hours. Just look around the usual average. You can see they're in the hundreds of thousands, but not the 8.1 million. Oh, there's another one. There's Rachel Maddow. I'm not surprised that she would get 2.7 million. She's very popular. So yeah, but still 8.1 million, and that was just in 48 hours. So let's see, they can rig the game, but they can't fake influence. Even the relatable event that cost the taxpayers 250,000 pounds with diamond tiaras and slow motion video is 2 million behind. Oh yeah. I think I know what they're talking about. And when they say slow motion video, you know, anything that William puts on their social media, they always do the slow motion. Like that makes it more interesting. Anyway, you guys, we're not through talking about Thomas Markle, so I'm going to do a couple of things here first, and then we're going to get to that topic of the Duchess of Sussex. Regretfully, unfortunately, but I guess it was necessary that she had to contact her dad. Um, I won't even. Well, okay. Let me finish this first. That has been on my mind all day. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, good grief, good grief. So, but it is what it is, right? Right. No matter how weird and unfortunate. Let me stop. I gotta stop. Oh man, you know, it's one of those things you just can't unsee it. You know what I mean? You cannot unsee it. Right. Okay. So next. Oh my God. Says I am Sage. Take a look there. Most read in the list of articles on the BBC website. What have people read the most? Meghan reaches out to her estranged father after amputation reports, spokesman says. So, are we talking about Trump administration says Europe faces civilizational erasure? That's not number one. Supreme Court agrees to hear case challenging birthright citizenship. Nah. The number one talked about thing. Look at where Kate is, by the way. Kate Middleton is all the way down there at number 6. Now, mind you, this is not ABC. This is BBC. So in the UK, BBC's most read article is that of the Duchess of Sussex contacting her father, and not Catherine joined by stars and charity heroes for Christmas Carol concert. That has taken a back seat, like several back seats. All right. And here we go. So, breaking Duchess of Sussex reaches out to estranged father after reports of leg amputation. Well, one of the squaddies says Charles cut Harry and Meghan's security when they needed it the most, when they were being targeted by white supremacists, and Thomas accepted money to lie about his daughter and feed her to the wolves. Um, Harry and Meghan have the worst fathers. Well, considering that, well, let's just say, considering everything that happened with Diana, is it fair to blame Charles? Is it fair to say he shoulders most of the blame? I say yes. Diana was a teenager, being, I'm trying not to use the G word, but being selected as a potential spouse, a potential Princess of Wales, right? She was a teenager when all that started. And I do believe on the wedding day, Diana was 19 years old. Charles was in his 30s. Charles was in his 30s. So between the two of them, I believe it would have been Charles' responsibility to say, this isn't right. But he didn't. He fulfilled his obligation to the crown, to his country. And what happened to Diana? Yeah, I would say he's a pretty crappy father. The way he used his children in order to somehow rehabilitate his public image, lousy father. And as for Thomas Markle, he admittedly worked with some very dodgy individuals. to try and derail the wedding. A man who has gone on television and trash talked his own daughter, who seemingly, allegedly read from a list of grievances that were handed to him so that he could satisfy the headlines of a tabloid newspaper. A man who has given aid and comfort to a reporter from one of the worst, lousiest media outlets in the world, the Daily Mail. Lousy father. They both stink on hot ice. They're awful, awful parents. They both use their children. It's not even about class because they are equal opportunity offenders. Both Charles and Thomas Markle Sr. Both of them. Lex says, Meghan is smart. This doesn't mean access. Horrible people. Thank you so much for the super chat, Legs. Yeah, it does not mean access. It does not mean access. I believe that this was pure coercion on the part of the tabloids. Also, I am never, ever going to be comfortable with this coincidence, such as it were. I will never be comfortable with that. I still say this was quite deliberate. The timing is impeccable. There's always something. You know, it has been fewer occasions when they would roll out Thomas Markle during these big moments in Meghan's post UK life. But still, it happens. At a time and a place of their choosing, it happens. Thomas Markle moved to the Philippines because it was convenient for him. He moved to Mexico because it was convenient for him. Yeah, he's trying to save some money. But if it really meant that much to him, this whole thing about seeing his grandkids as if they're the only children, the only grandchildren, should I say, that he has. The truth is, he doesn't see most anybody in the family. He has been a pariah just as his daughter. And there are members of their family, of his immediate family, who just do not want to be around him. And as for Scamantha, well, we know her story. We know her story. How she raced to get her name Markle out there in the media, even though she was going by the name Samantha Grant. Why Markle? One could argue because that seems to be where the money is. And for both father and daughter and son, it has paid off tremendously. They can't sleep at night because they're tossing and turning, trying to figure out some new way to attach themselves to Meghan's situation. Interesting papers say reports of amputation. Thank you, Lex, for the super chat. Yeah, reports of amputation. Reports. And that's all we have right now is reports. And I would imagine that the amputation was probably scheduled, right? I mean, I can't say for certain. I really don't know. But mm, why does this seem strange? Why does this seem strange? It's the timing of it. Designed to derail Meghan's holiday season plans. And since she's reached out, you guys know that the next thing is, why isn't she over there? I got a better question. Why is he over there? He's the one who decided to go to the Philippines. Now, I don't know how true this is. It says here, this is like the first I've heard this. If I have heard it before, then I forgot about it. Thomas Markle abandoned his own mother, Doria, and Meghan, took care of her till her death. Have you guys heard that before? Because that's a new one for me. So I'm going to have to say it has been alleged because I don't remember hearing that before. So you're going to have to help me out with that one. This is the first I've heard of that. But if it is true, I'd have to say I'm not surprised given Thomas Markle's shady nature. I'm not surprised. You know, Legs, when Thomas Markle was first seen doing a run up to the wedding, when they said Mexico, I'm just like, why is he in Mexico? I mean, I know. I mean, I have the full understanding of how people go to places like Mexico or Honduras and all these other places south of the border because your money goes much further. And yes, as a retired person, you can have your money forwarded there, right? You can get excellent health care at a fraction of the price. All of those things. I get that. But when it comes to Thomas Markle, it just takes on a whole new meaning. And now the Philippines. Oh, and yeah, and if he doesn't have an amputation, this will be the last time that he could really play wolf like that. Which makes me wonder, will we ever see like a photo or image of him post amputation? I mean, after all, there seems to be a live in reporter. It should not be too difficult. Let's see. Hmm. Yeah, I see what you mean. I get that. Let me see. A neighbor reported that Doria. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know how that got past me. Oh, because of taxes. Okay. Now, see, Thomas Markle had a bit of a reputation um, back in his Hollywood days. A reputation that said that it wasn't only excellent lighting that he was providing on the set of these television shows. And I'll just leave it there. Let your imagination run away with you. But it was once rumored that aside from his expertise as a lighting director, um, that he was able to provide other support on the with his work. Okay. He is a shady character. He is a very, very shady character, which is why turning on his child came so easy. I believe that there has been a rift in that family for a long time. Meghan spoke glowingly about her father years ago. Um, when one is climbing up the ladder of success, when one is working on a career, it doesn't really seem logical to drag one's parents. So Meghan has never spoken ill of her father. She did admit that one time that they don't get along that much and has not for, what was that she said in the car? My father lives there or something like that. It was a candid thing that happened. And when it comes to her father and the rest of that hillbilly family of his, my imagination runs wild. I do believe that there was a lot of nastiness from the Markle family toward Doria for obvious reasons. They did not feel as though she belonged as a part of that family. And Lord only knows some of the things that have been said and done to drive that point home, like the story of someone seeing Doria around the house there, and one of Meghan's siblings saying, "Oh, don't you know that's the maid?" That's what they said to the neighbor. She doesn't really belong here. She's not a part of the family. That's the maid. So yeah, my imagination runs wild. I kind of have a notion as to why Doria could not stay a part of that family, but yet she did not deny Meghan access to her father. If it wasn't for this deal that they have made with Thomas Markle, could you imagine some of the shady things that they would report about his past? And that may be yet to come. Once this whole, get Meghan any way you can is over, maybe one of these days, seeing that there is a reporter embedded, since there's a reporter embedded with Thomas Markle Sr., I'm pretty sure that they have gone through everything in the house and then some, and knows exactly who and what he really is, even why it was necessary to go to the Philippines. And they're going to turn on him, even if it's after he's gone over to the other side. Or in other words, even if it's after he dies, they are going to turn on him. they are going to tell his truth. Yeah, Suzette, I hope she doesn't go. I don't suspect she will. I don't suspect she will. That would be a trap. That is an absolute trap. That is a trap set up by the tabloids, and every moment will be monitored. So there's no way that that could happen without some type of attempt to expose Meghan in the most unflattering light. How much time did she spend? And so on and so on and so on. So this is how it started. The other day, Meghan's father, Thomas, is in intensive care in hospital after emergency surgery. Keep him in your thoughts, his son says. And who writes the article? Carolyn Graham in the Philippines, December 3rd. Well, take a look at this article. If we die tonight, do you think that Meghan will come to my funeral? Why drinking PG, whatever that means, tips with Thomas Markle as his 19th floor Philippines apartment was rocked by an earthquake was the most surreal moment of my life, writes Carolyn Graham. She just happens to be there. She just happens to be there. That was October the 4th. She just happens to be there back in October. And mind you, I just want to make something clear. That shirt that Thomas Markle was wearing looks identical to the shirt that he was wearing when he took that picture with Carolyn Graham. I don't want you to think that those photos were taken at the same time. They were not. In the mirror behind Thomas, you can see Thomas Markle Jr. With his head buried into his phone, I suppose. And I don't know who took this photo, but I'm guessing it had to have been Carolyn Graham. But he's wearing the same, if not identical, shirt that he wore a few years earlier when he took the picture on the right. So whatever money he's getting from wherever he's getting it, he has not upped his wardrobe. He's still in sloppy hillbilly lighting director denim and dull, I guess, slate colored polo shirt. Yeah. Matter of fact, is that a t-shirt? Oh, you know what? The other one is a t-shirt. I just noticed that. They both have pockets. God, why would he have two shirts in that same sad color? I don't know. I just noticed that other one is a t-shirt. Anyway, look at how Carolyn Graham disappears in all of his flubber. Thomas Markle Sr., the other worst dad in the worst dad list. Anyway, what are the chances? And it has been reported that they may be romantically involved. According to Feminagra, remember I shared that article with you? That it has been rumored there's a romantic entanglement, involvement. Just yuck. Because I'm trying to see if I can find that article. Well, that was a while ago. Oh, well. But yeah, it implied that Carolyn Graham may be living with him. Now, it's not for me to know what the appeal is, but it's just that right now, Meghan is probably the most famous woman in the world. And Carolyn Graham is there with her father. And I don't think that's by chance. Oh, God. And I hate to. maybe they are in a relationship. You know, it might turn some people on to have some aging Hollywood lighting director belching beer in your face, breath smelling of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Maybe that's a turn on. I mean, she's not the classiest person herself. But you know what they say, you can't help who you fall in love with if they are indeed romantically linked. I mean, it begs the question, was there an earthquake or was that Thomas Markle? uh, why is it when I think about them that I think about that scene in Wizard of Oz where there was a house on top of the Wicked Witch? Why do I think about that and Thomas Markle and Carolyn Graham all at the same time? Why does that vision come to mind? Where I picture a wicked witch with something as big as a house laying on top of her. Yeah, and the emergency response crew being called upon to remove that mountain of flesh to rescue the wicked witch. Ugh. I tell you, I don't know why that vision comes to mind. I just see her little legs sticking out from under the house, or in this case, the Markle. I just see her little tiny feet sticking out. It reminds me of that scene. Oh, man. This is just so odd. You could not make this up if you wanted to. You could not make up something like this. Let me see, probably too soon. You see that dip at the knee. It's not too soon. I have no respect for him. It is not too soon. You know, there's somebody for everybody. Who knew that the Belle of the South, the daughter of Dixie, Carolyn Graham, may allegedly be romantically linked to Thomas Markle Sr. Thomas 30 pieces of silver Markle Sr. I mean, other things have happened. It's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, I'm thinking, oh, she's just here for a story. It's the scoop of a lifetime. But how do you explain that she just happened to be there? Oh, by the way, thank you, Lex. Let's see. Miss D. Bernard, I don't believe it, Baron. It's too obvious. She's a plant. Thank you so much for 43 months membership. Um, yes, I, I listen. If she was not initially there for obvious reasons as a way to go after Meghan, if that wasn't the case, I am totally shocked that it seems as though she has followed him to the Philippines, and that it seems as though she divides her time in the Philippines and wherever else she lives. It's bizarre. It really is bizarre. This is not something you see every day. Now, back in the days when journalism meant something, there is no way that you could maintain any semblance of objectivity while being allegedly romantically linked to the subject matter. In this case, Thomas Markle Sr., right? That you would be romantically linked. Even the idea that you appear to be romantically linked, even if that isn't the case, then that means that you should not be writing. You should not be making yourself part of the story. Even though she's writing about his state of mind, his need to see his daughter and grandchildren. And I tell you one thing that they are very disciplined about. The tabloid media, and that includes Carolyn Graham, the daughter of Dixie. The tabloid media is very disciplined when it comes to mentioning Meghan, Lily, and Archie, and even Harry. What they refuse to acknowledge is that he has other grandchildren that he doesn't see. And when it comes to Scamantha, who relinquished her custodial duties with her own children, wasn't it Sammy's mother and her daughter, her biological mother, her biological daughter, who said that she was the black sheep of the family, that nobody is in contact with her? Isn't that what they said about Samantha? They will make very vague acknowledgement of problems in the past, but they ignore all of that, and they'd rather focus on this idea that Meghan cuts everybody out of her life, as if as adults we don't all do that. As an adult, your circle becomes increasingly smaller. When you're in your 20s, you're running with the pack. By the time you get to your 40s, well, you're in much close quarters, figuratively speaking, with your friends and family and your friends at our family. You don't have this big group of friends anymore. People have married, people moved away, people have died off. There's a bunch of things that happen. And you just don't have that big social circle anymore. But it's a crime for Meghan to not have that big social circle. When it comes to Meghan, it's a felony. Miss D says, I'm telling you, someone is paying her to keep tabs on him. Romantic involvement, exactly 100%. Thank you very much, Miss D. Bernard. Well, I mean, if, let's say for the sake of argument, that there is someone paying for that, it would be the Daily Mail. I will allege that it is the Daily Mail, for the lawyers that are listening. If there were any truth to that, the Daily Mail, who has made a fortune creating misery, not just for Meghan, but for hundreds, if not thousands of people over the years, making up things, digging into people's personal business, doxing people. That is their bread and butter, is to keep people angry and reactive and afraid. The Daily Mail is an abusive boyfriend. You want to be a part of life. Let's just use that as a metaphor. In other words, you want to keep up with the news. But Daily Mail gives you this idea that you're going to get something from them that you can't get anyplace else. And rather than tune them out, people are more likely to gravitate toward them, especially if they have that need inside of them for constant fear and hyperbolic reporting, information that in no way is as serious as they make it out to be, because they're going to put their own spin on it. So they use a lot of sensationalism to keep you coming back. It's like a narcotic. And they're not the only ones. That is the one thing that is common about all of the tabloids, is that they use a lot of fear. They want to drive the public sentiment. They use the big blaring headlines to pull you in. Now, they don't have as big an audience as they used to. They just don't. Across the whole media landscape, there are people that are exceptions. But for the most part, this is very crowded, and content creators are not doing as well as they were this time last year. Whether it's someone with a big platform and a staff, or even if it's someone like myself, it's just not as lucrative. But one thing is a constant. If you are constantly pushing sensationalism, lies, rumors, if you are constantly gossiping and making up stuff, if you have tabloid material, that is way more profitable than just telling the truth, than just telling the story such as it is. So that means that the deranger platforms, they outdo the Sussex friendly spaces tenfold, even better than that. It's so easy for them to get 50,000 views for the lousiest videos. And all they have to do is talk about moon bumps, surrogates. Let's see. Everybody in Hollywood hates them. Meghan has no friends. Harry has no friends. That's all they have to do. And they tell the story like it is the biggest news of the day. Like it's the biggest news of the day. And when Kate Middleton was missing for 172 days, it was the Sussex squad that appeared to be more concerned for her well-being. Even Celibici, one of the last podcasts they had, and believe me, they are not for Kate Middleton, but they don't hate her. One of the last things they said before they signed off was, I hope they didn't do anything to her. Meaning that they were hoping that the royal family hadn't taken her out. That is the level of concern that was coming from this side of things. You would have thought that the derangers would have been outraged. Where is she? What'd you do to her? They didn't care. The only thing that bothered them was that Meghan was getting much deserved attention without going through a filter of Kate good, Meghan bad. Like right now, they love that they can show this whole Christmas Carol thing versus Meghan refuses to see her father. That is their favorite recipe. That is the tabloid's favorite recipe. And there are some people out there that are so shallow that they see it the way that the tabloids want them to see it, but they won't see it for what it is. One of the things that really broke my heart was when Meghan said on the docuseries that she was out doing a walkabout. She was doing her walkabout. And that was when, remember Dorothy Parker, the lady that said that she was blessed for being able to come out and see Meghan. Someone else in that crowd had said to Meghan that day, why won't you call your father? That's why they had to leave. That's why they had to leave. The tabloids would have had a field day. They would have been so excited if the Sussexes would have stayed so that they can continue the abuse on a daily basis, so that they could plant people in the crowd, so that they could watch Harry and Meghan go out and do their royal duty and then trash them and badmouth them in a series of articles about protocol. They were all geared up for that. And then, surprise, we're leaving. And I'm sure that that angered them because they could be making so much more money had the Sussexes stayed. But thank God they didn't. Oh, by the way, thank you so much for your super chat. Joan Lawman, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you both for having memberships to the Royal Sussex. Okay. Let me see. Oh, what is this? Fleur de Yucca. Am I saying that right? Anyway, thank you so much for the euros. I love that. I rarely get those. Thank you very much for that. Okay. Hey, Abby Rosemary. You know, that is a good point. Bots don't turn up. They wave to wave. They buy things yesterday. I was on the train and a man in his 80s was talking about Prince Harry. We want him back. Okay. You know, I would love to be able to say that there has been very little impact because of the hate campaign from the tabloids, but it has cost the Sussexes a lot. It costs them because they have to have all of this extra security. They have to really consider where they go, when they go, how they go. They have to consider what type of work they do, what type of engagements to attend. All of those things, they have to be hyper vigilant because you can just envision the headlines the next day. It really changes the way you move, the way you think. Now, this is something that has been a lifetime uh, of torture for Harry, but for Meghan, this is not exactly what she envisioned for her life. But the fact that she handles it with so much grace. When Meghan was in New York, I saw so much joy. The way she moved about was with joy. When she was in Paris, um, again, in spite of everything that they have thrown at Meghan, the fact that she moves about with so much grace is amazing. It's amazing. It's a testament to her spirit, to her courage. It is a testament to her strength, her character. Because most people, they would have been completely broken by now. But it means a lot to have that inner strength. It means a lot to have the love of your mother. It means so much more to have a husband that supports you and those beautiful children to come home to. When you have all of that behind you, it's it's kind of hard to tear a person down with that much going on. But they try. They definitely try. If Meghan didn't have such a strong sense of herself, I don't know that she could would have survived as long as she has. But it was a very wise thing to go to California. And remember, so many people were saying, "Oh, you want your privacy. You want to get away from the paparazzi." That's the worst place to go. It's the best place to go. And they have been thriving ever since. They have been thriving onward and upward. And I'm sure Harry is shocked, amazed at his life today. He had really just accepted his circumstances that he was always going to be stuck there. And now he's not. He has a mortgage, he has real work. Harry goes and makes presentations to these, give presentations to CEOs and politicians and such. Remember when he took the, what was it, the senator and some other people from Washington, took them to Africa for whatever charity or whatever that was? Or how about going before Boeing to get support for the Invictus games, among other companies? Even Harry getting the Invictus games funded that first time was not a certainty. For the first time in his life, Harry had to make a presentation. He had to make a proposal to get funding for a cause he really believed in. not as a royal, even though he was still over there, but as a veteran who wanted to help other veterans. And it must have been something he said that impressed the hell out of them. He didn't need his father. He didn't need his brother. He didn't need any of those people. And to prove that, you need only look at where Invictus is today. He did not need those people. Founder of Invictus, founder of Travelist, co-founder of Centabale. That says a lot about his character. Okay. What is this I have here? Oh, yeah, this was Meg's message to Dad. So, thanks to the spokesperson from Archwell, we know that this did happen. So it's not, just a matter of that's what they say. That's exactly what it is. It did happen. How do we feel about it? That should not be important. What's important is how Meghan feels about it. How does it affect her family? That's what's important. I say it was the right thing to do because I can't speak to why this happened, but I'm going to say if it was me, I would see it necessary to stop the bleeding because there was article after article after article about Thomas in the hospital and so on. So it was said that first it had to be established that this is a true thing. So I would imagine that someone from Archwell, and this is just my opinion, someone from Archwell got in touch with the hospital. Now, how was the message sent? How was it presented? Did someone hand him a phone? I don't know. I don't know. That we'll probably find out about soon enough because remember, there is someone in bed. I'm sorry, someone embedded in the Markle household who will no doubt be more than happy to tell everybody. Yes, very classy. Let's see. He also has never had a bank account, credit card, or order anything from Amazon. He said, and oh yeah, you're speaking of Harry. Yeah. Um, yeah, there's a lot of first. There's a lot of first for Harry. And it's got to feel good to have that kind of freedom. God, it's got to feel good. Because the plans that they had for him, and I don't know, it really frustrates me. I don't know why more people don't get this, but it has to be because they do not hear it from the tabloids because that's their source. They see it in print, they believe it to be true. I don't know why more people don't get what a lunatic William is. And I don't understand why people do not get the idea that having your jealous older brother in charge of the purse strings is not exactly growing up in luxury. That's not a luxury life. That's not the soft life, having to tap dance to your older brother's music, having to conduct yourself in a way befitting to the courtiers that work for your brother, your sibling. But that would have been Harry's future. You look at how bizarre Edward looks. Edward looks like, well, you know what I said. He gives me that Anthony Perkins psycho energy. How did he get like that? Edward is frustrated, bitter, and definitely humiliated. Prince Edward wanted to have a production company. He wanted to make movies and television shows. What Harry is doing right now is the life that Prince Edward wanted. But instead of having the courage to leave, he gave in to a large house, an increased salary, and a lifetime of job security. He forfeited his happiness so that he could stay under the thumb of the crown, of the monarch. He stayed. Harry left. And you know, there's a huge difference. Do you think Sophie would have had the courage to face life away from that institution? Is that why Sophie is always so angry with Meghan? Is that why she's always looking so bitter? Because Meghan had the courage to do something she wouldn't? I think Edward gets it. He always seems happy for Harry. Sophie, not so much. Edward wanted to make entertainment. He wanted to educate and entertain, but he did not have the strength of conviction to say, I'm walking away from this. He gave in. They bought his freedom. They bought it. They purchased it, and now he doesn't really have it. When Charles is through telling him what to do, William will get to tell him what to do. He works for Charles, and soon he's going to work for William. Not so soon, I hope. One of the squatties posted this. Look at that. How dark will the baby's skin be? Yeah, one of the squatties posted this. And, well, it says what everybody's been thinking, and that's that Thomas Markle has been there on the take from the beginning. He has profited from his daughter's marriage to Prince Harry. Now, some people say that he may have been blackmailed, that they may have some dirt on him, that they may have coerced him in ways that we don't know. Whatever the case may be, Doria told that reporter who approached her and said, you know you can make a lot of money. Doria said, but that's my daughter. You're asking me to plot against my child, in so many words. When she said, that's my daughter, that's what she was saying. And who knows, maybe that dirt they have on Thomas Markle, maybe it continues over in the Philippines. We don't know. We don't know. But anyway, that's a great photo. I think it's very accurate. It really depicts this pathetic human being. How can a father sell his own child out for money? Very sad. Hey, soul brother, it really is. It really is. I could not imagine either of my parents doing such a thing. Jonas, Prince Harry, and they all look sick, old, like leather. Ugh, yeah, they do, don't they? Now, Carol Malone. I'm going to play the sound from this exchange. I didn't do it yesterday because I just did not want to, but I'm going to play it today. I am going to play the sound from this exchange. So bear with me. Carol Maloney. Carol Malone. Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, this phone. I got to do something about this. My phone is somehow messing with my computer. I don't understand it. I got to do something about that. I don't know how to fix it, but I'll figure it out. It has been a nightmare. Wow. Wait, what is this? Is this okay, I got something I want to share, but I want to make sure that it's real before I share it, okay? So, let me save it. I just want to make sure that it's not a I want to make sure that it's not a you know, it's not a fake AI picture. Okay? So, all right, I'm going to play this soundbite and then I'm going to try to source this photo. It's a picture of Harry from Canada. It looks like um you know, it does not look real. So I just got to make sure that it is before I share it with you. Okay. Now, let me do this. Get it set up. Sorry about that. Thank you for your patience.
So where's her compassion for the father who actually brought her up, who paid for her private education while her mother was in jail, who took huge care of her, and she's not seen him in the latter years. More importantly, I mean, she's not just seen him; she's like totally stopped him.
When was her mum in jail? When was her mum in jail?
Years ago. Do you want me to give you the precise date, time? Because I haven't got it.
But never heard that forever.
Years ago. Anyway, she but you know this old gentleman now could be dying.
Yeah.
He
One more time.
disadvantaged people. So where's her compassion for the father who actually brought her up, who paid for her private education while her mother was in jail, who took huge care of her, and she's not seen him in the latter years. More importantly, I mean, she's not just seen him; she's like totally snubbed him.
When was her mum in jail? When was her mum in jail?
Years ago. Do you want me to give you the precise date, time? Because I haven't got it.
I've never heard that before.
Years ago. Anyway, she. But you know, this old gentleman now could be dying. Yeah. He needs to see his daughter disadvantaged.
Okay, so no sound? You guys didn't have any sound? You all could not hear that? Let me see. Okay. Okay, yeah, there was sound. All right. Okay. So yeah, I'm just making sure. You guys, I do apologize for this. My phone, as I said, has been Apple connected it to the computer and it was fine before, but now it's just a nightmare. So again, I will try to disconnect it because I do not need that to happen, especially the way I work. I do not need for that to happen. I do not want for it to happen. So tell you what, I'll leave that down there so I can make sure that you can hear me. Let's see where to begin. Oh man, this is the same person who said that Charles III, King Charles, well, he doesn't have cancer. Do you guys remember the way she blurted that out? Well, he doesn't have cancer. Now, there was no follow-up to that. There was no anything from the palace, nothing. And then there's this and everything in between. When Carol Malone appears on these programs, I'm afraid that most people think that she's just a concerned Brit, not a paid contributor. And even if they do realize that she is paid to be there, they don't seem to care and they will never recognize the bias. This is a woman who said dreadful things about Princess Diana up until the day that she died mysteriously in that tunnel in Paris. And she's very good at what she does. That's why she is there. She has made her life's work out of pushing conspiracies and negativity, pushing hate. That is a woman with a heart full of hate. And then she was shocked when she was called out for being racist. Oh, there you go. Here we go. And she says, you totally lose your point when you accuse people of being racist. That's what she told that lady on Jeremy Vine. She is only there because to a certain sector of society, she seems very credible. It really makes me sad, too, that there are a lot of Black people in Britain that believe Carol Malone's words, that they believe Sarah Vine, Rebecca English. They believe everything that they say. They will not acknowledge, they will not accept that there is any bias that has actually been sanctioned by the royal family. But that's exactly what this is. She has notes. She keeps a notebook in front of her. She constantly looks up and down at papers to make sure that all of her talking points for the day has been thrown out there. And this is why you hear all of that stammering and hemming and hawing and such, because she has notes. She has talking points. She has written those talking points down. And those talking points are the narrative that she's pushing out there to the public. And she's being paid for that. I would say she's being paid very well, but I don't think so. They get their salary, I believe, is comparable to what a registered nurse would make in certain parts of the United States. You could be there pushing hate, or you could be a registered nurse in the United States. That's about how much money that she's making, and sometimes probably a lot less. But she's not there by chance. She's not there because she's a concerned citizen. She is there to perpetuate a very right wing, palace approved narrative. She does not care about Meghan seeing her father. She doesn't care about that. None of them do. And yet, there is a very naive public that accepts every word of it as truth. And I don't really feel so bad about most of the people that accept it, but I feel very hurt that there are people out in the Commonwealth, people that look just like me, that will take her word over anything I could say or the next person. They will take her word. That colonial mindset, where you're a person of color that only believe people like Carol Malone. That is what makes me sad, is that you will accept no other word but from a Carol Malone. That is really sad. These people will not question, why is Carolyn Graham in the Philippines? They really think that these people are there to help. They really think they're there to help. This is why I stopped watching The View years ago. This is why I stopped watching a lot of programs years ago, because those talking heads are paid for their opinion. They are paid to create controversy. And there's nowhere in the educational system that I know of where they point out the fact that the conversations that they have are not conversations designed to inform, but they're really there to tell you what to think. When you have three people versus one person saying the same thing, a very, shall we say, naive public are more likely to accept those three people because, it's the law of the majority. The majority rules. So that toxin that they're spewing out there continues. Now, that is, what is that? The United States Court of Appeal for the Eighth Circuit. And who is the plaintiff? The United States of America. And who is the defendant? Well, that is Dorian Raglan, also known as Big D. Not Doria Raglan, but Dorian. But at a time like this, when there are so many eyes watching, this verbal assassin puts that out there. What? I didn't know. This is all quite deliberate. This is all quite deliberate and designed to derail a very crucial point in Meghan's business. Let me take a look at a couple of your comments here. Let's see. Yeah, she would have definitely have said that. Oh, this woman she was horrible to Princess Diana. If it means that the palace wins, if it means that it satisfies the palace, she would do that and a lot worse. Yeah, she'd have done that and a lot worse. So the British people have been telling America that they are not racist. What a bunch of crazies. The Meghan and Harry situation has demonstrated a lapse in judgment on their part. Well, it's very important to remember that Carol Malone does not speak for the majority of people in Britain. You will find that the Sussexes, the further you go north, the more sympathetic people are to their situation. The further you get north of certain areas, especially by the time you get to Scotland, you will find that people are far more agreeable with the Sussexes than not. So she does not speak for everyone. Harry and Meghan are in the unfortunate situation of being caught in a cultural war. There is the Brexit minded people and the MAGA minded people. In other words, people with very right wing tendencies. And the media has convinced them, the president of the United States has convinced them, Nigel Farage has convinced them that they are being replaced by people of color. They are being replaced by outsiders. Now, we know the history that the empires from Europe and even the United States empire, which the United States is an empire. The United States has over 700 military bases around the world. No other country has that. 700 military bases. And why is that? Because this country is an empire. But they don't just plant flags anymore. They cut deals. They get mineral rights. They get fossil fuels and semi-precious whatever. That is the American empire. So Harry and Meghan are just part of this cultural war where there's a left and right, and the right wing loves to vilify women of color. They love to vilify black women in particular. So that's why you have a Pierce Morgan going after Naomi Osaka, going after what's her name, Gabrielle, the little girl, gymnast, going after her, going after Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey. That's why they go after people like that. And they're not saying that they don't really have respect. They don't care for women of color. They won't say that they don't trust, they don't want to see black people succeed, but that really is what they're saying. And so Meghan marrying into that family, but she didn't marry the family, she married Harry. But what that means for the family, I mean, listen to the words. How dark do you think the baby will be? And what is that going to look like for the family? Isn't that what Harry said? What is that going to look like? How are you going to justify having a baby with a brown face on the Buckingham Palace balcony? What is that going to look like? That is what they meant. And so I just want to say again, Carol Malone does not speak for every white person in Britain. I don't think she speaks for the majority of white people in Britain. They want us to believe that everybody hates Meghan, that everybody's against Meghan. But that's why they call it a very loud majority, or should I say a very loud minority. There's a silent majority, and there's always that very loud minority of people. And because a lot of people think that might means right, that if these people are shouting so loud, they must be right about something. But I refuse to believe that the majority of the people in the UK have those feelings about the Sussexes. But the problem is that there are so many people of color that accept a Carol Malone. That's heartbreaking. That is really heartbreaking. Just like those people that voted for Donald Trump. All of these Latinos that voted for Donald Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump. Now, they said, I believe he's going to go after the bad guys. They're going to deport all of the hombres, as Trump said. We're going after the bad guys. And then once the deportation started, if you had an accent, if you looked a certain way, they just come up and say, were you born here? Were you born here? They didn't know that was coming, but they believed they were on the wrong side of the culture war. And even if they were born here, there are people that are being detained because they look Latino. And your chances of being able to sue the government is greatly reduced as long as, that person is in the White House. Carol Malone is a tool. She is a tool of the right wing. That's what she is. And she believes everything that, say, a Nigel Farage says. She's, she might as well be Nigel Farage sitting there. Wicked, a very wicked individual. I hope so. I mean, I don't know I don't know if it's going to go that far. You have to be very careful and pick and choose your battles. But I should hope so. I should hope so. I do hope that they go after GB News, which, by the way, it is said that GB News removed the video. They removed this video. You can't find it anymore. You cannot find it. It's been removed. Let's see. I read before. Uh, oh, okay. Yeah, I had never heard that before. So that's news to me. Oh, Simone Biles. Yeah, why did I say Gabby? Oh, well, sorry about that. Simone Biles. They could not find anything wrong. They tried. They desperately tried to find something in Meghan's background. If there was anything in Doria's background, there's no way in the world that they would have not said something. I just don't believe it. Let's see. Black Lily says these people did all this digging to find dirt on Miss Doria. Found a whole man with a similar name and used this as their safety net. Well, you know what? This comes from the derangers. A lot of these things come from the derangers. These reporters, now I can't say for certain that Carol Malone has a burner account. I don't know. But a lot of these reporters have burner accounts. And I'm convinced that some of the most ridiculous things come from the derangers. Now, you know one of my favorites that I just do not believe. And I've had people try to explain it to me. I still don't believe it. That the British government told the White House, do not give Harry and Meghan a ride. Do not let them hitch a ride on Air Force One. And that anybody believed that Harry and Meghan would hitch a ride on Air Force One after being away from their children for what, 3 weeks? Does it make sense that you would go to Washington and then have to transfer yourself to a commercial aircraft? That could take up to 24 hours to get home. That never made sense to me. But there's a lot of squatties that are convinced that that really happened. I don't believe that happened. It sounds silly to me. It sounds silly to me. But it sounds possible. It does have a certain logic to it. And therefore, people are inclined to believe stuff like that. And that is how these things get started. Is that they will find something that sounds possible. And as long as it seems possible or even impossible, there's going to be someone who believes it. I would assume a lot of things is possible with Donald Trump, but Joe Biden is not going to give someone access to a government flight to hitch a ride and then give them another plane. I mean, what were they going to do? Drop off the president and then continue to California on Air Force One? Does that make any sense? I never believed that. I just did not believe it. That never made sense to me. But I do believe that the origins of that comes from the derangers. It comes from people that only support Will and Kate because of their hate and hostility for Meghan and Harry. That's the only reason why people support them. Most of their support does not come from monarchists. Most of their support come from people who hate. People who would not share a story about a Christmas carol. They won't share that. But they will share a story saying that Harry and Meghan tried to hitch a ride on Air Force One. They'll share that. I have gone into some of their accounts. I have seen the things that they post. And you would be amazed at how much they have to say about the Sussexes and how little there is to say about Will and Kate. Now, there are some people that honestly support the royal family. And there are people who likes the whole idea of it. And they don't say anything about Meghan. Nothing at all. And then there are the ones that their whole bread and butter is what is Harry and Meghan doing? And occasionally they will, oh, Kate's hair is so beautiful. They'll have these airbrushed images of Kate. They'll have AI images of Kate. Speaking of AI, hold on, you guys. I almost forgot about that darn photo. Let me make sure this is real before I share it with you. Why didn't y'all say something? I had totally forgot. Is this AI? I think it's AI, you guys. Let me check. Now, see someone in the comments say, is this real? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to share it. I don't think it's real. Yeah, no way that's real. Anyway, it's a picture of Harry at dinner with Doug Ford. I don't even know who that is, but I know he's someone in Canada. It says spotted having dinner together at Nobu, Toronto. Whether or not they had dinner together, I don't know, but I know this picture is not real. Yeah, this is fake AF. If it was real, this picture would be everywhere. Okay. Yeah, I didn't really get a chance to get a good look at it before, but now that I have, I say it's fake. I don't know why people do those kind of AI photos, but they do. There was a AI photo of Harry and Meghan sitting at a table while what's his name? The redhead singer. Remember when they were in New York? It was supposed to be them sitting there listening to Ed Sheeran, right? And that was fake. Okay. All right. So, where is that at? The candy sold out really fast. I did not get anything but the white chocolate, but thanks to my friend in Switzerland, I have some gourmet chocolates. I mean, some good stuff, some really good stuff. So I don't feel so bad. I mean, that totally took the sting out of it. It did. It totally took the sting out of it. So thank you, my friend from Switzerland, that sent me this amazing care package. Yeah, I was like really upset until I opened up that box. Now I'm happy. Okay, okay. Let me see here. So this is from The Root. The Root. Black news and black views with a whole lot of attitude. So Meghan's, well, they're still calling her Markle. Meghan's holiday Netflix special is just the kind of self-care black folks need right now. And it's a very short article, so I'm going to share it with you. It says here, just in time for the holidays, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is out with a special episode of With Love, Meghan. Uh-oh. Okay, sorry, I dropped something. Oh, man. Oh, sorry. Okay. With Love, Meghan. Holiday celebration. Dropped on the Netflix on December 3rd. If you were not into the whole holiday cheer thing, if you're not into the whole holiday cheer thing, this might be your jam. But be warned, even the biggest Scrooge might find themselves getting all sorts of feels in the first 10 minutes of the show. Watching the Duchess of Sussex bake mini quiche, create her own wreath, and make custom advent calendars and Christmas crackers for her kids in front of a backdrop worthy of its own feature in Architectural Digest was festive enough. But she sprinkled in special guest tennis star Naomi Osaka, her longtime bestie Kelly Zafin, and Lindsay Jill Roth, which made the whole thing feel like a warm cup of hot chocolate. Even with all the fresh baked goods, the Duchess got the usual hate from the British tabloids. Who called the special out of touch and unwatchable. But the same coziness is exactly why it's getting plenty of love from Black folks on social media who soaked up every gingerbread scented moment of the episode. TikToker Dean Curator, Dean Curator was up early to check out the special before it even dropped, already making plans to watch it multiple times, they said. Oh. Okay, I see that. All right. Oh, yeah, so Dean Curator, I'm sorry, not Dean, it's Deal Curator. Deal Curator is on TikTok. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see if I can grab that link and share it with you. I'm going to give you her link for the TikTok. How's that? And since she's a Sussex friendly space, you'll get a chance to check it out on your own. Oh, I've seen her before. I'm going to get the episode right here, the one that she did. You know what? I wasn't even following her. I got to make sure I follow her. Okay. All right. I'm going to put the link here. Don't bother with that link. Use this one. Gosh, that's a long link. Let me take a look and make sure it works. Oh, well, hell, that doesn't work. Okay. Don't bother with that one. Let me try this. Okay, I think this is better. I'm going to pin it to the top of the chat. And okay, that's it right there. So at your leisure, make sure you check that out, okay? That is Deal Creator. Deal Curator. Deal Curator. And she gives her review of Waiting for With Love Meghan to come on. So check her out. Okay. All right. So that's where we left off. TikToker Deal Curator was up early to check out the special before it even dropped, already making plans to watch it multiple times. Another fan, there's another one. Oh, I can't say that. I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, another TikToker loved all the personal touches of the Duchess that she put on the holiday decoration gifts. With Love, Meghan is a festive, calming hour that invites you to slow down. She's not teaching you to impress guests. She's encouraging you to show up for them. There is a beautiful warmth that feels real and rare. TikToker, somebody else said that while she wanted a lot more from Meghan's holiday special, she loves how much effort the Duchess puts into making everyone around her feel cared for. Even if you know her for 5 minutes or your entire life, she will make sure that you know how much she cares about you in every single interaction, in every single hangout. And I love that. And another one says, in a time when Black people are feeling the opposite of cared for by elected officials, many are finding comfort in Meghan reminding us to focus on holiday tradition and family. One fan wrote on X that anyone who finds a reason to hate the Duchess special might need to touch some tinsel and rest. Touch some tinsel and rest. Another person said it was a cozy 56-minute holiday special Nothing deep, nothing political, just food, craft, and a bit of festive fluff. If that level of harmless content sends you into a meltdown, Meghan isn't the problem. Your parasocial rage is. Woof. How about that? Okay. So yeah, that was the end of it. But yeah, check out that TikTok link. The gumbo got me. I can't believe our Princess Meghan made gumbo. Prince Harry tasted gumbo. I'm going to teach my daughter how to make gumbo if Princess Meghan did it. I'm trying to remember, what was it that I saw that I intend to incorporate? I can't remember what it was, but it was something that she did. I'm going to have to watch it again. And I have every intention on doing it, but I just forgot what it was. What was it? Oh man, I can't believe I forgot, but it was something that she did, and I intend to do it too. And I don't know what that was. I can't remember if it had something to do with Christmas or if it was just something to do. But don't be surprised if I tell you that I made a pot of gumbo, because I have not stopped thinking about that gumbo. I cannot stop thinking about that gumbo. Let's see here. And the fixation is real. Folks analyzing advert calendars, craft, her voice, her kids, her faith, her notes, her tone, her tree, all while claiming they're not interested in anything she does. The math isn't mathing. That's not indifference. That's full-time monitoring. Wow. Okay. It was a cozy 56 minutes. Oh, yeah, that's that one I've already quoted. Just in time for the. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, just in time for the holidays. The pajamas, they are still available. If you want those PJs, they are still available. Let me. Oh, I didn't grab the link. Let me grab that link for you. If you're interested. You can see the price there. It's kind of small, but the price is, I believe it's $148. Is that right? No, 158. $158 US. Giselle Tinsel Model Long PJ set. Holly red and ivory. Okay. They have other colors too, but and they have them extra small all the way up to extra large. It looks like the double X has sold out. But if you are interested, let me grab the link for you. I will put that up there for you. There you go. I'll put that at the top of the chat. Let me make sure that link works. And it does. It takes you right to the PJs. So yeah, if you are interested in those pajamas, that is the link up there at the top of the chat. Those are cute, aren't they? Aren't those cute? And you could finance them. You could buy them on time, as they say. $39.50 every 2 weeks for 8 weeks? Is that right? No, that's not right, is it? $14.26 every month for 12 months? Huh? All right. All right, so there you go. That is the PJs. Oh, check it out. Netflix has purchased Warner Brothers. I repeat, Netflix, which is where the Sussexes have their contract, has purchased Warner Brothers. Did you guys hear that news? There it is right there. Netflix to acquire Warner Brothers. Following the separation of Discovery Global from a total enterprise value of $82.7 billion, equity value of $72 billion. So, what does this mean for Harry and Meghan? I don't know. But I'm going to tell you what I hope it means. I haven't heard anyone else mention this before. So far, I'm the only person that have said this. Stock options. Do the Sussexes have stock options? There are some companies, some entertainment companies, that will pay you with stock options, meaning that you do not receive a big wad of cash. You are actually invested in the company. Now, has Netflix grown since Harry and Meghan signed up all those years ago? I think it has. And what is the value of Netflix? I don't know, but it's a lot. So I'm just saying, if they were paid partially with stock options, they could be sitting on a fortune right now. They could be sitting on a huge amount of money. Billionaire status may be closer than we know. I don't know. I'm just saying. Again, I've heard no one mention it before, but I do know that some people are paid with stock options. And if that is the case, imagine the possibilities. That's all I'm saying. Imagine the possibilities. It would mean that while you're sleeping, you're laying in bed, every time you roll over, you done just made millions of dollars. Now, Oprah was paid with stock options, partially paid with stock options. Even Michael Jordan, instead of getting paid money, cash for those shoes, he wanted stock in Nike. And what is Michael Jordan right now? A billionaire. Now, they say his mama was the one that said, listen, we want stock. We'll take stock. So, if that is the case, then they could be sitting on a huge amount of money that has not even been calculated. Let me see. Thinking Netflix could have a stack of cash because of Meghan's jam. Oh, wow. Let's see. Netflix is big on compensating partially via stock. I've been trying to get in with them for a while. All right. Good morning, Kim Peaches. Well, anyway, I'm just saying, if that is the case, instead of saying how much uh, they were paid by Netflix, just consider how much they could have actually made via those stock options. I'm just saying that that would mean that Harry and Meghan own part of a much bigger pie. So I hope that is the case. And if that is the case, wowee. Not bad. Not bad. And remember, the Duchess of Sussex has been in the business for a long time. And also, Meghan has had the same lawyer from Beverly Hills for a long time. And having people like Oprah Winfrey and, Tyler Perry, having those people as friends, you learn a whole lot along the way. So, I don't know, but if that is the case, I don't know that anybody knows exactly how much money they have other than their accountant and their lawyers and of course each other. But I hope that is true. So take a look at this. That is Batman. One of the things that has been happening is that people seem to have this idea that if Netflix has purchased Warner Brothers, that Netflix is going to come in and change a lot of the characters on different programs and in the movies. That means that Netflix will be making first run films, making more first run films in theaters. Like right here, it says, you're telling me, okay, it's over. Total Netflix victory. You're telling me that the entire DC franchise, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Dune, Succession, Rick and what is that, Morty, Friends, Euphoria, The Big Bang Theory, The Last of Us, The Lord of the Rings. They're saying that all of that now belongs to Netflix. And people seem to think that Netflix does not honor the actual characters as they were written. Like right here, they think that now that Netflix owns Warner Brother, there's going to be a black Batman. Wait, I'm not done yet. They said that Martin Scorsese was upset. Well, the industry is over. It seems that now I don't know if that's true, but they said that Martin Scorsese was very upset about Netflix purchasing Warner Brothers. Also, these are just things that people have been sharing all day. Like, for instance, Tom Hanks playing Martin Luther King. The Elon Musk story with a black actor or somebody black playing Vladimir Putin. Now, don't you think these people are getting carried away? Don't you think these people are getting carried away? Wait, there's more. How about this? A black Batman wearing pink, or black bears as polar bears, or how about the Snow White thing? They would have whoever this guy is playing Snow White. Yeah, these are just silly, but I thought they were funny. Or how about Jada Pinkett Smith as Rapunzel? Huh? How about Jada Pinkett Smith as Rapunzel? Or how about Friends with a couple of black people in it? Or how about Batman in a same sex relationship? The day Netflix ate Warner Brothers. How about that for an old 1950s horror movie? Notice they have the blob. The day that Netflix ate Warner Brothers. Um, and of course, an alternative lifestyle Batman, a paraplegic uh, black female Batman. Huh. Listen, Warner Brothers, I mean, not Warner Brothers, but Netflix. I think a lot of people feel as though Netflix has taken license when it comes to the racial makeup of some movies and documentaries and such. Mostly, I think people are still angry about what is that, Bridgerton, that they have a black cast of people in Bridgerton. That seems to have rubbed some people the wrong way. Um, oh, Jon Snow of Game of Thrones. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for that. I thought it was like some Snow White thing. So, are you saying that the next Jon Snow is going to be a black man? uh See, this is what happened when you have AI. AI has just ruined things. Okay, here's some more. A black Harry Potter or a very black Bugs Bunny. Or how about the Batman that you see at the bottom on the left, that is what's his name? The wrestler guy. I'm so bad with names now. Well, that's the little short comedian. And that's the guy from oh Lord, how come I don't remember his name? Um the one that lives in Hawaii. The Rock. Okay, yeah. So The Rock is Batman, and that little short comedian is Robin. All right. Oh, take a look there. Remember, I showed you yesterday that Camilla decided that she wanted to make nice with Will and Kate. She actually blew a kiss at them, and then she went over and gave Will a kiss on the cheeks. Kevin Hart, thank you so much. That's Kevin Hart and The Rock. And look at there. So this is love. Mm-hmm. So this is love. So this. You think she was drunk? Come on, tell the truth. Do you think Camilla was drunk? I think she may have been overserved. Anytime Camilla just walks around and started kissing everybody, I think she might have been overserved. Until I know better, I'm just going to assume that she had been hitting some cocktails before she went out there. And she probably forgot how much she hated Will and Kate. Oh, isn't that sweet? Sedated. She was partially sedated. Now, Princess Eugenie speaks out after she and Princess Beatrice declined Kate Middleton's carol service invite. Well, they said that was it Beatrice had took a picture of the invite on the and put the card that they received that was in the invite that was placed on a Christmas tree branch and photographed, and they put it on social media saying that they regret that they couldn't make it, that they already had other plans. I believe that this has everything to do with their parents. It's one thing that if your parents privately are not invited, but if Beatrice and Eugenie show up and their parents are not there, even if nobody says it, we know if that's what everybody will be thinking, is that not only are they not in attendance, but they were excluded. But yet Beatrice and Eugenie is there. And it would just be very awkward for everyone. So it was probably best that they did not show up. Plus, that's Kate's moment. And Kate having such a weak and meek and meager character, you don't want to take away what little attention she gets. So better that they just don't go. Yeah. You know what? I believe you're right, because she could have just not said anything, but instead to publicly declare your intentions, that does seem rather suspect. So I believe you're right that it is trolling. And either way, Kate needs as much attention as she's ever able to get, because otherwise she's such a shallow person that you barely notice that she's even there. The press has to tell you to look at her hair to know that she's even out and about. Most articles are about her hair and about her coat dress. Plus, I hate to say it. I really do hate to say it. But
reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing. Yeah. She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned, mute woman.
Take note, Nicola. There it is. Right.
One of the reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing. Yeah. She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned, mute woman.
Take note, Nicola. There it is.
Right. Oh well. Now it would not be fair if I did not reach out to Kensington Palace and give Kate Middleton a chance to refute some of these accusations.
You'll face the daily challenge of finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact. Leaders, you'll face the daily challenge of finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact.
I tell you, that profitability is something else, ain't it? Especially if it's Bettine. Bettine. Bettine profitability. I would like for somebody to make a song out of that. Bettine profitability. Bettine profitability. Bettine profitability. Yes, Bettine profitability. Bettine profitability. I mean profitability. Bettine profitability. Everybody, Bettine profitability. Bettine profitability. Patine Poptability.
You'll face the daily challenge of finding the balance between profitability.
I'm sorry, one more time.
At finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact. Between profitability and having a positive impact. Between profitability and having a positive impact. Leaders, you'll face the daily challenge of finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact.
Poor thing, and she didn't even know it herself. She thought she aced it. Could you imagine how cruel William was when she went to him smiling, thinking that she had really knocked that one out the park? Only for William to say, yeah, that was great, but tell me, what is patine poptability? Patine poptability.
Challenge at finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact. Leaders, you'll face the daily challenge at finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact.
Ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you the future queen consort of one of the mightiest empires, the biggest empire to have ever ruled the earth. Britain, the sun never sets on the British Empire. And after 1,000 years of traditions, 1,000 years of conquest, all of that has been reduced to a queen consort who has not actually, shall we say, mastered the English tongue.
You'll face the daily challenge of finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact.
Yes. You see, English is a language that is evolving, and no one else can bear witness to its evolution greater than Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Catherine, the Princess of Wales, who has somehow made good on her promise to
challenge at finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact.
Yes, to find balance between positive to find balance between positibility and a positive impact. She has her own language. Yes, she is so far advanced. She's way ahead of us. Now, one of these days, those words will exist. And until then, we can say we were there when it was first used in a sentence. Yes, we were there when it was first used. So if anybody asks you, do you know the difference between profitability? You get to say, yes, I do know the difference between positability.
Leaders, you'll face the daily challenge of finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact.
You tell them, Kate. You tell them with your advanced English. Her English is light years ahead of us. That we should live so long that we will ever find words like patine and positability to find a use for it. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. We should live so long to find a use for words like patine. And I promise you, I didn't know what that word meant until Kate said it. I thought patine was the sound. I thought patine was the sound that a watermelon seed made when you spit it into a big stainless steel bowl, right? Like if you were to take a big bite of some watermelon and you were to spit it into a stainless steel bowl, it would make a sound. It would go pateen, pateen. So I thought that's what it meant. But thanks to Kate Middleton, now I realize that pateen has a whole nother meaning. It does not mean a watermelon seed being spit into or being spat, should I say, into a stainless steel bowl. That's something totally different. So thank you for a fine education about pateen and positability. I wish we could have saw the faces of the people in the front row. Actually, I wish we could have saw the faces of everyone there. Do you know how many people were probably thinking, no wonder she rarely speaks publicly? And yet they have the nerves to accuse Meghan of word salad. And yet they have the nerves to accuse Harry of being overly, what is that, aggrandizement or whatever that is, they say, of speaking in platitudes. Well, all of that may or may not be true, but I tell you what, I know the difference between popitability. Oh, by the way, thank you so much, AM, for the PayPal. I did see that. I let it slip my mind, but I want to say thank you now. So thank you very much for the PayPal. Okay. And thank you, Kate Middleton, for the great material. Sometimes I think I'm going to run out of stuff to say. And, well, then this happened.
Daily challenge at finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact.
Yeah, just when I thought I was running out of material, that happened. And then I realized, oh, I'm safe. You know what? I'm going to do that this weekend. I'm going to have to find something with some seeds in it because I think the watermelons are out of season. But I got to. Oh, I got some a what is it? A pomegranate? Pomegranate? I have a pomegranate, and those got those little seeds in it. So now all I have to do is find a stainless steel bowl and just bite into it and start spitting them seeds out. I'm going to put a microphone next to it so you can hear it. Pateen, pateen. Oh, man. So anyway, we know that Beatrice and Eugenie don't really care for Kate Middleton like that. It's written all over their faces. I mean, look at how they're just kind of like that. Who knows what they called her, but well, we know, ladies, we know. Oh, you know what? Did I share this with you? I guess I didn't. I shared this yesterday, right? Or no? No, I didn't. I'll do that now. I shared Allison's reaction, but I did not share the guy's reaction. Let me cue that up for you.
When you saw the clip, did your phone blow up?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, initially I thought, to be honest, that it was an AI clip. I couldn't really quite believe that it was a legitimate clip. Yeah, but it did blow up. I had so many messages from people sharing it with me. But it's been a nice little flashback to my time on Beckel.
It's such a funny moment because I can remember the moment. I genuinely couldn't hear what you were saying. I think I had to look at a producer to be told you're saying bake. It was your accent which was throwing me off.
I know, and even when I tried to spell it out, Alison, it didn't really make any difference, did it? Because I spelled it out in such a strong accent. Well.
Mark, what did the original clip go viral? Is that what it was?
No, it didn't really go viral, did it, Mark? It was just a nice clip that Bake Off put out.
And it was sort of occasionally I would even get people saying to me now that they recognise me from the show from that clip.
Really?
Alison with us.
When you saw the clip, did your phone blow?
Okay, so there you go. That was his reaction to the clip going viral, or at least the sound going viral. Cut price royal rent backlash. You know what? This is a story that just won't go away. Prince William, Kate Middleton accused of abuse of power in drama over new mansion. And that was in Cosmopolitan magazine, of all places. I don't expect to find a story like that in Cosmo, but yet there it was. They were talking about this too. You know, this whole Thomas Markle thing, I just thought about that. That does kind of take some pressure off of them with this whole peppercorn housing thing. You know what I'm saying? That kind of takes some of the pressure off. But anyway, the article basically pointed out how two families were evicted, how people have to drive an extra mile just to buy their usual Christmas trees, and that it's been like a big inconvenience in the community. Also, they question what right does William have to close down the local access just so that he could have his new forever home. This really is an inconvenience to people. And, you know, something that may have been a short hike, or at least a possible hike, will not be possible because they have to avoid that property. And of course, that property was never has caused a major road in the area to shut down. But from the way the house is located on the property, if you look at the map, the road is right there. There's no big long drive leading up to the house. And so, you know, if someone was up to no good, they would really be able to drive right up to the house. There's no wall, there's no gate, there's no fences at this point. So it's like right there. That's why those other families had to go. Yeah, it's a pain in the neck. It affects very few people, so there won't be much made of it. In time, their voices are going to be drowned out by talk of coronation and such. So yeah, in a while it won't mean much. Let's see. Mission accomplished. I bought the last 3 copies. Well, one of the squatties wants you to know that she has not 1 but 3 copies of Harper's Bazaar. How about that? And that oh God, Sarah Vine ran out of stuff to talk about. And I guess since she already talked about Meghan just the day before, she decided to share this with you. I told you there's a lot of these aging female reporters in the tabloid news media that has issues with their appearance. They have issues with their bodies, and they want to make it everybody's business. why after nearly 15 years of wearing wigs, I've decided to reveal my real hair. So that means she's going to take a break from antagonizing the Sussexes to reveal what lies beneath. This would probably explain a lot of her foul temper, her ill-minded, you know what I mean. This explains a lot. It doesn't explain those gigantic Prince Charles hands, but whatever. You know, it doesn't change the way I feel about her. I don't have any sympathy for someone who's so hateful. And what can I say? Maybe karma is real. But as far as I'm concerned, she is a very nasty, bitter, cruel, mean, bigoted person. And if I never saw another article from Sarah Vine and all the rest of her teams of hateful people, I think the world would be a much better place. The truth is, I thought it was a picture of Harvey Fierstein. I thought, why is she posting pictures of Harvey Fierstein? That's what I thought. But no, that's Sarah Vine. Okay, you guys. And on that note, I am done. Thank you all very much. 2 hours and 37 minutes. I did not mean to take that much time. Where did the time go? Hey, Barbara J. Thank you for joining us. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you all very much. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And thank you for the super chat, super stickers, and memberships. And I guess it's not too soon to say this. I hope you all are going to join us on New Year's Eve for the marathon. You got to join us on New Year's Eve for the marathon because we are definitely going to be up all night. We are going to start about, I don't know, 10:30 Chicago time, Central Time, so that we can wish Happy New Year's to our friends, well, to our family on the East Coast. And then we're going to continue to wish Happy New Year's to the Central Time people. That includes myself. And then we're going to stay on for another hour so that we can do Mountain Time, and another hour so we can do the West Coast. So we'll be on for about maybe 5 hours that night. And we'll talk about some things that happened in the past year. May old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. Anyway, it is a possibility that we'll be on Patine. But it's a very strong possibility, a very strong possibility. So get your snacks ready because we're going to be up all night. Yes, we're going to be up for the New Year's. Can you believe it is almost 2026? Good Lord. Where did the time go? Anyway, as always, I'm excited about the holidays, and I love giving gifts for Christmas, and let's see. And it really should be about children. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And Also, the sage honey, is that still available? Because I keep thinking, what does a sage honey turkey taste like? And the only way to find out is to get some of that sage honey. Now, I'm not going to cook it. I've already recruited someone else to cook it for me. But I am very keen to find out what it tastes like. Let me see if they still have it. I wish Meghan had a phone app. I really do wish they had a phone app. That would make things so much easier. I think the potabilities are endless. Don't you think the potabilities? Yes, the potabilities are endless. I love having potabilities. Okay, what was I looking? Oh, as ever. That's what I'm looking for, as ever. Okay, do they? Oh, by the way, you guys, the raspberry spread is back. If you are in need of raspberry spread, it looks like it's back. Oh no, I think all the sage honey is gone. Is it? Orange blossom and wildflower. Okay, yeah, I don't think there is any sage honey anymore. Oh, yes, there is. Yes, there is. Oh, wait a minute. How much does that cost? You know what? If I don't get it, that's okay too. I didn't know it cost that much. No wonder they still got it. Listen, that's a very expensive condiment, but I cannot stop thinking about what it must taste like. So I got to get it, right? Plus, this goes toward Archie and Lily's college fund, so why not get it? Oh, yes, a word from one of our beloved what do they call you guys? Moderators. Everyone, please watch Meghan's holiday special. If you haven't already, please keep replaying it. Also, give it a good rating on Netflix. Let's help to make it #1. Thank you, Cookies and Cream. Thank you very much. We have to make it #1. Oh, thank you, Ingrid Sowers, for being a constant support to Royal Sussex. Yeah, so you guys, especially for those who observe Christmas, try to focus on everything that's good this holiday season coming up. That is what I hang on to, is that I want to, and not just for Christmas, but every day of the year, for those people that have been a part of our lives that are no longer here, we have to live our best quality life. We have to do it not only for ourselves, but you got to do it for everyone that you ever loved. You have to do that, because that is the best way to celebrate their legacy, because those people that have been a part of us, they are really, in some cases, the best of us, right? So that's why it's very important to make sure that you speak their name and that you live the best possible life you can. Lots of quality, loving yourself, nurturing and loving the people in your life. That's what it's about. And Christmas is not just about gifts. It's making yourself available, the gift of time, being available to the people that you love. But again, not just for Christmas, but for every day of the year. So that's what I intend to do. And yeah, just make the most of it. Make the most of it, because it is really the last week of the year. And the next thing you know is 2026. And like they say, whatever you're doing on Christmas Eve, that means you'll continue to do that for the whole of the next year. So if you're having a good time, if you're having a quality time on New Year's Eve, then you are setting the pace for what's to come next year. So let's make 2026 the year of taking better care of ourselves. Okay. All right. Good night, everyone. Love you guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love your tomorrow. You're only a day of wait.